Welcome back to another video, and today we'll be discussing the newest makeup announcements and releases. Welcome back, and whoa, I am filming 3 videos today, which is not usually something that I do, but because my sort of paid holiday is going to be ending this week, so I thought that now that I have time I might as well do filming 3 videos, since I will be getting back to work next week, and then we will be getting back to a normal filming schedule. So, makeup news video, there's gonna be like, we have had the sort of July, which was a bit quiet, but now we're in August and things are very much picking up. So it went as I expected. After the quiet July weeks, we are getting, when it rains it pours, like there's so much stuff to talk about. So without further ado, and for the sake of my camera battery, let's just get to the newest makeup announcements and releases. Okay, so first we're gonna go through a lot of stuff that I was sort of referred to in previous makeup news video, and that now we can actually discuss. So first, Sydney Grace had their sort of, is it Christmas in July sale, and in that video I referred to that there were 4 new 9-pan palettes, which 2 of the contents have been really revealed, and now I'm gonna just quickly go through the 2 other ones that weren't yet revealed in the time that I was filming and when I was editing the video. So the first one was the Northern Winter, so I'm gonna pop the image over here, and yeah, I'd say this is it's an interesting. I do say that this is aside from the, I think the summer palette was quite interesting, which was the blue-green 9-pan, and this is sort of like gray-toned red palette. So again, this is already something that is already available, I think, on the website, and I do think that this is a bit like more interesting, considering that Sydney Grace usually does quite neutral eyeshadow. Then the other one, which was the sort of Easter fall palette, or Eastern fall palette. This was a pretty typical warm-toned orange palette. I don't think, like, considering also what Sydney Grace has come out with previously, this isn't like anything super different, and this is pretty, like, I'd say typical like orangey fall palette. But if you're interested from any of these are already available on Sydney Grace's website. Okay, let's now then get to something that I actually spotted from online after doing some digging, and then we're actually gonna go to then, because there's been a couple of weeks now, we also have the other part of this sort of same series. So Catrice's fall edit launches have come out, and also Essence's fall edit release products have also been online, so I have pictures both. Let's first go to the Catrice products, and I actually look who's making their own edits. Yeah, I know the Essence one, it's something that you will see the account for, but this is something that I did actually myself, and this was it took a while because I did have to go through these like individually, and these weren't yet on Catrice's own website. Some of these have now dropped to our country's Catrice's website, but you can't buy them yet, you have only the product information. I have been like, I'm gonna go next week to our some of our Catrice retailers to see, because these do have a habit of dropping quite quietly, and then you have to be pretty quick because these tend to sell out pretty quickly at the initial launch. I'm gonna say from the Catrice stuff, probably what I will be getting is probably this is gonna be the first part that probably I'm gonna be trying the pink powder out, because a lot of the pink powders that I have so far seen, those are a bit dark, or they for some reason like are a bit on the darker end, which is something that then sort of like loses the sort of, because the pink powder on a cool rosy undertone is meant to brighten, but if it like sort of gets darker when you apply it to your skin, then that's not the like purpose of it. So, but this look, at least based on the images that I've seen, that this seems to be pale enough of a pink shade that I might actually be able to use this. Then the foundation, which looks very interesting. I believe this is called the Invisible Cover Foundation, and if this is good like medium satin coverage foundation, then I very much want to try this out. I'm probably gonna get one of the blush duos. I don't really need another like blush, especially I do have quite many Catrice blushes, but I do want to see what this kind of blush duo formula. So this blush duo has a cream and a powder side, so I just want to see what the formula is like. And from the eyeshadows, because Catrice I wasn't a fan of, they redid their sort of rectangular eyeshadow palettes that I previously did like, but I wasn't such a super fan of the rebrand of those that they did, so I am gonna actually try out the sort of, you can see it in the upper corner, it is the sort of pink grey leaning one, and they have done quite many of these eyeshadows, but I haven't never gotten excited about these ones, but because I am not, and because also this new Fall Edit doesn't seem to have any other eyeshadows than the one that you're seeing, the sort of pink gray one that you're seeing in the upper corner, and then the sort of like cheek and eye shadow like combo that's in the sort of middle of the picture. So I'm gonna probably try out and see that what the formula is with this sort of, I don't remember the name of these sort of eyeshadows, but I'm gonna see what the formula is like and get back to it. And I do also think that the mascara and the liquid lipstick are probably something that I'm gonna try out. So it seems that I'm gonna be pretty busy with the Catrice stuff, but you will soon see. Actually, we can now move to the Essence one, because with the Essence I'm gonna say that because during the spring edit I felt that the Essence had better spring edit stuff than Catrice had, but now it seems from the fall edit now that you're gonna see the Essence stuff, not so much exciting things. There is a lot, so there is one new blush, so there is the Juicy Melon Tinted Lip and Cheek Balm. We have some sort of lip, Juicy Balm, I think those are lip balms. Then we have Contour, this sort of baby cut bronze. So the only thing that I'm interested from the Essence actually fall release this year are this sort of baby cut bronze, this sort of cream bronzers, because I did actually like the blush formula that is in the similar like package that these are. So the bronzing sticks are the only one that I like. Then they are expanding their sort of these sort of stick blushes and bronzers. I'm not a fan of usually like stick bronzers. I can deal with at least with some of them, but the blushes so far not something that I am excited to try, and I don't feel that these actually like look that interesting. There seems to be also some lip oils. There's a new primer, no. There are color correctors, yeah, no. And there's a brow gel, and then there was a lip peptide treatment, and then we have eyeshadow duos. Those are not looking interesting. And then also actually Essence is also coming out with liquid lipsticks, which is odd because they do actually have the 8-hour liquid lipsticks, so it's strange that they're coming out. They could have just maybe extended the line with those. So yeah, so far it seems that maybe in terms of the fall stuff, Catrice is taking the win, because with Essence, as I said, there's only like the cream bronzer ones are so far looking like the only one that I am eyeing to buy from them. But with Catrice, we are definitely going to be have enough stuff for example, making a separate video. Pat McGrath, I think, tried to do something interesting, because a lot of us have been getting quite critical of her eyeshadow releases, but I don't think she succeeded. So Pat McGrath came out with 2 new quads, and these are it's the Sublime Blue collection. So there's the new Nirvana Nectar and Opalescent Orchid Divine, and I think the Opalescent Orchid is the more exciting one, which has the sort of mint color, pop of mint in it. But I actually watched Patty Alonso's review? Yeah, I think Patty Alonso had the sort of the quad which has the sort of very punchy turquoise color in it, and I think she did tell quite honestly what all of us been thinking, that because these are just normal shimmers. These shimmers aren't like, they are just normal basic shimmers, and also when she was watching them, those didn't like. She made a comparison, I think, for the newest Oden's Eye palette that came out, I think already, maybe was it already a month ago or so, and she made a good point that the Oden's Eye palette that had much more shades, that's, I think you can maybe even get it maybe even with less money than Pat McGrath quad, and the shimmer shades were much more punchier and just like much more sparklier than the shades in the quad. So like, I think Pat McGrath at this point she's like, it is getting a bit late, and also because these are very basic shimmers, I don't understand why the quads are priced. I think I looked at the Pat McGrath's like European website, and these are like 54 euros or something, and I'm thinking that I'm not paying 54 euros for basic eyeshadow, like basic shimmer shadows. Also something else that I think many people have given rightfully critique is that these have been now moved to the cardboard packaging. Pat McGrath used to do her quads in the sort of thick lacquer plastic packaging, but these are in a basic cardboard packaging, and we're still paying over 50 euros for these. So yeah, I would say that even if you're a hardcore Pat McGrath fan, I just wouldn't put my money into these. But if you are, for some reason you still want to buy these, like these are already available on her website. Then a brand that surprisingly did do something interesting, which I don't think anyone was expecting, but Too Faced came out with a new eyeshadow palette, and there's a new lip plumper in this one, but I'm mainly gonna talk about the eyeshadow one. So the Appley in Love eyeshadow palette, and before, like, if you cover the two greens out of this one, this is a very basic reddish leaning neutral palette. But I'm not mad about it because this seemingly is based on the reviews. This is already available in States. I am waiting because we have actually Too Faced retailer in our country, but it seems that we don't get everything. So I am waiting to see will this appear in our retails. But it seems so far that this has the good Too Faced quality that the brand has been, how should I say, lacking in some of their eyeshadow palette releases. I think the Italian Spritz palette that came out a few years ago, that got pretty good reviews, and a lot of people are comparing that the quality in this palette seems to be the same as in the Italian Spritz collection. And I do think, like, overall, like, I think many people were like thinking that where's the greens, but actually if you look at the cover, the apples in the cover are red, and then there's like a hint of green with the sort of leaf that is in the stem of the apple. So actually I do think that the color story is quite correct in terms of how the packaging is. So how should I say, I would be a bit tempted to get this if this becomes available. Like, this is definitely not a priority and it's something I could easily skip, but I will give that this actually is something interesting. There's also a caramel apple lip injection, but please don't use these lip injections. These, like the Too Faced lip injections, are like pure pain. I haven't tried any of these because I have even, like, with milder lip plumpers, and actually with the NYX lip plumper that I used, that was like pure chili on your lips. But please stay away from the Too Faced ones, those also are very painful. But the eyeshadow palette seems to be actually be pretty good quality if you're interested in it. NARS is redoing their lipstick, so this is the Explicit refillable satin lipsticks, and this was I was a bit like, NARS is redoing a whole line of products again, because NARS has been doing this a lot. They recently redid their blushes, and now they're doing their satin, because I think they had the Audacious lipsticks previously, so I don't know, are these meant to be like replacing those. The shade range is nothing extraordinary pretty. I'd say it's something that NARS has had before. So yeah, but why are, like, is this another like clean beauty thing again, that NARS is redoing a whole line of products because they were taking one ingredient out of the formula and replacing it with something else? Because I really don't think that these look much different than what they had in their previous line of satin lipsticks. But these are, I think these are available at least in US in NARS retailers. I don't know, are these yet available, for example, in European Sephora's that do tend to stock the brand. So Sigma is coming out with a skin tint, and I believe this is a first. Sigma has had, I think, like color correctors. I don't think they have had concealers, but they have had color correctors, but they haven't had like base products before. I do think skin tint are quite a smart way to start, because then you don't need, like, you can do a smaller line of skin tints and it can go to more like multiple skin tones without having to do like a super like big range. Because if you do, for example, full coverage foundation range, then you have to have a lot of shades. But with skin tints, there's a bit flexibility. I do think they have like quite good even like split, that there's like 3 to light to medium shades and then 3 like deeper shades. Skin tints are something that I'm not particularly like a fan of, because I do need a bit more coverage than a normal skin tint. But if you are looking for like a skin tint and you like Sigma's quality, then this should be. Or was this one of those products that was available for some reason on the US on TikTok shop, but it's not available like to everyone else? Yeah, I think Angelica Newquist might have said, she actually gave a very, very long rant, and I will have to say this generally, like TikTok shops I think are regional. So for example, I noticed this when Plouise, which is a brand we will be talking about in this video later, and Plouise recently had this like they called it a Plouise festival on TikTok, and all the offers were on TikTok shop. However, because it was in the UK TikTok shop, you couldn't like, even if I know many American like social media users were complaining about it, but us rest of like other Europeans, I don't think we were also not able to like buy anything from the sort of TikTok festival that the brand had, because the TikTok shops, I think you can only like do domestic shipping or something with that. So I would just also like agreeing with Angie, please, if you're a brand, please don't release stuff exclusively on TikTok shop unless you're a brand that you generally don't sell internationally. But Sigma, for example, has a big international crowd, so it is quite like it's quite like bummer, because bummer that they are like now keeping this only in a platform that not everyone uses and only limited people, and even though there are still people that use it, but if they are not in US they can't still access this, so that's a bit of a, how should I say, that doesn't like, it's not exactly customer friendly solution for launching a product. Moira has, there are a couple of launches that Moira has that I will discuss. So first one is that Moira has launched liquid highlighters. These are already available on Bougie Shop. This actually like almost, I think they came pretty quickly. I don't know, did Bougie Shop actually get their stock like in the same time that Moira released these on their website, but these are already available on Moira's retailers. I think I'm a bit on a liquid highlighter break currently. I don't feel the need to add new liquid highlighters because I got so many in the beginning of the year, so I am good with my liquid highlighters. But if you like Moira's quality, and it's a brand that, for example, I have now tested and I can say that I've been pretty happy with the quality. So if you want to get this, these are available, and the brand generally does do quite good stuff. Second one, which I was a bit like thinking that, okay, so they have also come out with a new eyeshadow palette. So this is the Pretty Little Thoughts palette, and it is a like, okay, my voice is gonna go soon. So it is like a nice cool toned palette, but for some reason this doesn't look like as attractive as some other, because Moira's palettes, even the more neutral ones, they usually have a bit punch to them, but this seems to be pretty like a muted color story, which is actually maybe good. Maybe people have been asking for them to do a more muted color story, so this could actually be good, but for me this is definitely a skip. bellabeautébar is gonna come out with a mascara. I'm always happy to see brands expanding, like especially indie brands expanding beyond maybe like eyeshadow palettes, because those are usually easy thing to start with. This is gonna be the Lush mascara, and this is supposed to be lifting, lengthening and volumizing, so it's supposed to do everything. I so far only have this one image, so I can't really comment much about this, because I would have to see what the wand and bristle shapes are to see that would this be something I'm interested in, but at some point bellabeautébar is gonna come out with this one, so maybe when I see what the wand looks like, then I can maybe like see that, do I want to buy it. Another mascara release, so this is the Charlotte Tilbury is coming out with another mascara, and this is the Exagger-Eyes Volume Mascara. I have tried few of Charlotte Tilbury's mascaras. I tried the one in the pink tube and then the one that's a bit older, and I didn't like either of them because I didn't feel that either of them really did anything to my lashes. This is supposed to be like a volumizing mascara, and some of the images do look quite nice, but with mascara, like promo images, always take them with a bit of salt, because they are like meant to make the mascara look like the best that it can, and that's not necessarily how it will look on a individual consumer. I am actually going at the end of August. I have talked about this. I will be traveling at the end of August. I will be having one holiday week there when I will be going abroad, and it is a country, I will reveal it later where I will be going, but it is a country that actually they have Charlotte Tilbury on department stores. So this could be a product that if it's available on the department stores when I'm traveling and I can buy it in store, then I could maybe actually get this, because Charlotte Tilbury is definitely those brands that I don't usually like ordering it online, but if I'm traveling to a country where I can see the products in store, then it's a brand that I actually do like to buy from abroad. But yeah, this has been apparently spotted in Zalando Germany, but so far I haven't seen this on Charlotte Tilbury's own website, or for example in Cult Beauty, which is a sort of retailer I can get Charlotte Tilbury from, but I assume because it has been available on Zalando, it's gonna be soon available also in other places. Then another brand which I will show both of the releases at the same time. So GlamShop has been quite busy, so GlamShop is a Polish indie brand, and it is an indie brand that I would recommend. First one, they came out with a sort of 4 individual products, so there seems to be a brush cleanser, then there's a highlighter, and then they have an HD powder, and then they extended their cream potted blushes with 2 new shades. I have tried the potted blush formula. It is quite good. It is a bit on the drier side, but it is still pretty nice to work with. I unfortunately had to declutter mine. I had the one of more of an orangey shade, but because that was getting quite old and it was getting to a point that I wasn't able to get products from it. But it is a good blush formula, especially if you like a more sort of a stiffer liquid blush formula. But I don't think any of these products are that interesting. Something that I would make an order from the brand, but those are already available on website. Something that I am kind of considering that should I order. So they came out with a new collection, and I believe this is called Santorini, and I can kind of like get the vibe of this one. The issue is that the shades aren't like, the packaging of this is like, this is probably one of the better GlamShop packaging they have ever done in a collection, and that is what is making this particularly tempting. But the products inside, how should I say, the lipsticks are quite pretty, and I certainly don't need another bullet lipsticks, let alone two, but the lipstick shades look nice. There's a one neutral one and a more, I'd say, pinkish berry lead. But then the contour and eyeshadow palette. So first the eyeshadow palette that you will be seeing, it is basically, when I said that in the beginning of summer we had golden neutral palettes, this is now GlamShop's takes on a golden neutral palette, but they added pop-of color. And I would have maybe been even more tempted to buy this, but the pop-of colors are more jewel-toned colors, and these deep jewel-toned colors, if you have watched my videos, these aren't like my #1 colors, but these are still like so pretty. And then there's a face palette, and with the face palette what I do appreciate with GlamShop is that because they gear their products towards more like olive skin tones, they actually do have cool toned like this sort of powder product. So the contour shades in terms of undertones with this face palette, they would actually fit me pretty well. However, the GlamShop, they are usually a bit deeper, so my question is based on the promo images that are the contour shades in this face palette too deep for me, even though the undertone of them would be good. But like, as I said, this is like, I really am tempted, but I am just looking like, yeah, the outer packaging is pretty, but I'm not sure is the face palette gonna suit me, and also the eyeshadow palette is basically a brown palette that had some pops of colors, and even the pops of colors aren't like my favorite #1 pops of colors. There seems to be also some kind of primers included in this one. One of them is a glowier one and one is a matte one. A matte primer could be something I could try from the brand. But anyway, that was the sort of GlamShop part. But the first part of the release is not so interesting. The Santorini collection, on the other hand, very beautiful, but the insides are a bit lacking, but we shall see what happens. Beauty Bay has now, I think, completed their sort of liquid cheek product range, so they finally came out with cream bronzers in this sort of tube packaging. I have the blushes from this part. I have two blush shades in this particular format, and I'm actually surprised it took them this long to do the contour bronzing or contour shades, however you want to call these. I did discuss in a collective review video that I included the blushes from that it is a bit more dry, again, a drier liquid blush formula. It is a bit, it's almost like this sort of moussey, like a moussey blush formula when you apply it to your cheeks. So I don't know, I would have to like buy one and see that how this compares with the blush formula, but I would maybe assume that it's quite similar. So I think that if you have liked their liquid blushes, then you probably will like these ones. These are again a product that I'm not gonna order separately, but if I do make a Beauty Bay order, which is gonna happen eventually at some point, then I might drop one of these into my cart. We are apparently still not out of summer collections. Well, obviously with the GlamShop one, the Santorini one was a very summer collection, and Kiko is doing their, I think this is now like their second summer collection, and I think next month, like during the end of August or maybe in the beginning of September we will see Kiko's first fall collection. But this is the called, oh my god, Gloss Supreme collection, and everything in this is in this very sort of hot, glossy red packaging. I do have to say, this is again one of those Kiko collections that I was very tempted to order from online, but I managed to hold myself back because every time I make a Kiko order, I can't do that I order only one product. I usually end up ordering like several products, and then I'm thinking that why do I have so many Kiko products running in my drawers? I would have to say that from the eyeshadow palettes, the cool toned lilac, or well, lilac, maybe cool toned pink one is something that I was more interested in. I was also, some of the blush duos were kind of, because there was a, like, you can see it from one of the color variations, so one of these has a powder on the other side and blush on the other, like liquid blush on the other side, and I think a lip lacquer would have been the one, because this had the sort of like clicky pen, like this had several, I think were there like more than, yeah, because there was one like a traditional like glossy lip gloss formula, then there was one lip gloss formula that's in a clicky pen, you can see it on the bottom of the sort of image, And then beside the eyeshadow palette, I do think they have one of the lip lacquers, and the lip lacquer would have been the one lip product that I would have ordered from this, because that's a Kiko formula that I haven't tried yet, because I have now at this point tried quite a lot of the Kiko's lip formulas, but this lip lacquer formula would have been the new one, but yeah. I managed to hold myself off, and I'm pretty happy, because yeah, these are all like, Kiko is very good at doing these nice staple good products, but like it's very easy to get your drawers like cluttered with these ones, so good thing that I did skip this one. Something that I'm not sure that am I gonna regret later that I skipped. So for your information, this is gonna go out afterwards, but Monolith had their recent launch on the day that I'm filming this. I did actually shop the launch. I bought the Gourmande Girls Beach Perfect palette, and if I knew that if I was not traveling at the end of August abroad, meaning that I am saving budget for the trip, I would have gotten this one also. So this is the Glaminatrix Purely Basic palette, and this was also included in the same launch as the Gourmande Girl palettes. There were also some other stuff too that I was very interested in, but because of limited financial resources, you can't buy everything. And I have seen now quite many. This was a palette that was sent to quite many influencers, and this is a beautiful fall neutral palette. One thing that did make me like why I then still ended up buying the peach, because I could have bought this and then not bought the Gourmande Girl palette, so I was sort of making choices between these like two palettes. But something that did turn me off a bit was there was the one sort of like a pukey green row in the middle, and those are that's not the primary shade of colors that I usually gravitate when I'm using neutrals, so that row sort of was like that, okay, I had to make a choice. I could afford one palette, and I thought that the peach palette from Gourmande Girl had more shades that I knew that I would use. But this is still a very beautiful neutral palette, and this has gotten pretty good reviews from the influencers I have seen it, and the shimmers especially seem to be very beautiful. If you manage to grab this from either from the Monolith launch or from the Glaminatrix own website, congratulations, I'm sure you will be very happy with this one. Maybe later on, if this ever gets restocked, because with Glaminatrix it's definitely a brand, because it's an Australian brand, it is like, it takes them longer to restock stuff, so I don't know if Monolith Shop, for example, will get a restock of this one, or if they are able to themselves restock, but if this would be available later on still, and I still feel that I want to get it, then I could like buy it on later, but unfortunately this is something that I just had to make the conclusion that I still have like other things that I have to save my money for, so this had to unfortunately be left out. So Kryptein Cosmetics, which I think is a relatively new indie brand, but I do think their previous palette got a lot of hype. They are actually coming out with 2 new palettes, so these are the... what on earth are these called? Hello? I can't find the name of these palettes. I'll put it in the timestamp of the video if I'm able to find them. These look like nice palettes, but for me these are both skip. At least I don't know, is the product like photography lighting or something making these look a bit washed out, but just for me like the purple and yellow palette is not something that I'm getting excited about, and also the sort of blue-grey palette that's on the other side, like not excited about. But these Kryptein Cosmetics is one brand that seems to do a lot of shifty shades, so maybe see some reviews about this, because the shimmers actually might be more interesting that they look like, but both of these are an easy skip for me. Then a very bougie release, so Chantecaille has come out with their Cheetah collection, and the packaging of this, as with Chantecaille always, is awesome, but please don't spend your money on this one. Of course, if you love the brand, then go ahead, but basically the palette that has the very cool Cheetah, like Cheetah in front of them, this is a basic neutral trio, and these are usually pretty expensive, so how much is the palette? The eye trio is 78 euros, so for example, I filmed my collective eyeshadow palette review before this one, and I actually had the Natasha Denona I need a new palette in that one video. If you want a neutral palette, for example, buy that one, you get much more shades and everything, because this is like these are like, Chantecaille is one of those brands that the eyeshadow formula, it isn't like also anything like super special, and I just don't think that they are worth it. Lipstick colors also look nice, but again, because this is like just, I think Chantecaille is just one of the luxury brands that it's just like, I don't personally feel that it's worth my money, but if you like the brand and still want to like spend the money, I do believe this is This is a reveal, but when is this going to be available? Didn't say it. I assume because they have revealed that it's going to be available soon on Chantecaille retailers. Then some more Tom Ford. We already had Tom Ford, so there's going to be 2 quads in this one, and then a sort of collection. So first, which also has a quad, but yeah, anyway. Sorry. So 2 new quads for these are apparently the full quads. So there's one which is metallic mauve and one that's this rose whale. So which one is the mauve? I think it's the one that has the pop of purple, because the pink one has to be the rose whale, right? Yeah, okay, there was, sorry, I'm gonna pop the image that has the name, yeah. So both easy skip for me. Also, I don't think these are anything super extraordinary in terms of Tom Ford quads, but if you're a collector, just be aware these are coming. Then apparently they are doing a collection, so these are apparently, I think these are related to a fragrance they are releasing. So they're releasing a fragrance and these are sort of themed around it. So there's gonna be an eyeshadow quad, and then there's gonna be lipstick, and I think one of those is I think it might be a powder compact or something. Yeah, it's a cushion. Yeah, so I think it's a cushion foundation. The quad is pretty, like, I'd say deep, so if you're looking for this sort of more deeper, smokier quad from Tom Ford, maybe wait out and see can you get this one, because this seems to go pretty, I'd say even for Tom Ford quads, which usually are geared towards quite often, how should I say, people who like their easy everyday makeup, this gets quite deep. So if you're looking for maybe a deeper eyeshadow quad, maybe wait and see if you're able to get this one. The lipstick and cushion foundation, or cushion, not something I'm interested in, but yeah, these are also apparently going to come out soon. Then I said that we are going to discuss Plouise, and this is their newest product release. So Plouise is also expanding to their base products, so they're doing their first powders. These are apparently meant to be like under eye powders, but I assume you can also use these all over the face. So these are pressed powders, and I do have to like give them credit. The shade range of these is pretty extensive. Yeah, they have sort of like, I believe they have like correcting shades, so there are like peach and rosy shades, and with these powders there seems to be shade undertone descriptions, which is pretty good that they are finally doing that. But then you have just powder shades like to designed to like normal skin tone, so they are doing pretty big and extensive launch. However, this was something that I was sort of expecting from the brand when they were saying that they were doing powders, because their blush ranges are also pretty extensive, and like it's good that they are covering all their bases. Like I can't like critique this for lack of shade range. I'm not in the need of a new powder right now. Actually, recently already bought a powder I'm gonna be trying after I have run out of the Maybelline Fit Me powder that I have, but maybe in some future this could be a thing that I could throw into my cart when I'm shopping the brand. These are already available on the brand's website. I did check that before filming. Then we are getting to the final 4 of the last product. So this is a warning. We are going to talk about first Christmas releases. So if you don't want to hear Christmas releases, there's going to be a timestamp. You can skip to the next product. So YSL's 2024 holiday collection. I don't know is this leaked or is this actually that they just have like released the official pictures. Apparently we are doing white and golden this Christmas. What was the theme color of last Christmas? Did we also do white back then? I can't remember anymore what the brands did for last Christmas. I actually kind of like this packaging. I do like the golden sort of like fishnet embossing that it gives to the packaging. But the colors themselves, it's pretty typical. Like the eyeshadow quad, we are doing brown and golden. We are usually what high luxury brands do for Christmas is brown, gold and silver and maybe some grey. But so this is very on par with that one. I do have to say that embossing on the pants are making me kind of want this quad, and I know that I definitely don't need a quad with 3 gold colors and 8 brown. Then there seems to be some lipsticks. I do think the lipsticks might be just existing lipsticks from their shade range, but maybe check that one before you are buying these. And then there's the perfume, one of their perfumes, and then there seems to be a double-ended double-ended, or not double-ended, but there seems to be a golden not lip liner, eyeliner, which actually does kind of go with the theme of the eyeshadow palette, because that's also like cool. I'm not getting any of these, but well, we did make it till August until we talked about Christmas, so yeah, but I assume we will, if this was the first of the many holiday releases, we will start soon seeing many others. Then a product, actually products from the same brand that we're gonna talk about in conjunction. So Gourmande Girls, actually talking about Gourmande Girls. So they are coming out with two new sort of products, so or actually three, but two of them are palettes. So they are actually coming out with also a mascara. So I don't know if this is now a theme that indie brands are doing mascaras, because Blend Bunny did release a mascara. I'm now thinking that did they already release it this year, or did they actually do it already last year? But now it's interesting that we are having one from also bellabeautébar, and now Gourmande Girls is also doing their own, so that is kind of interesting trend. The wand looks like it could be something that I could like, because it is more looks like more of a thinner wand. So this is Volume 11 mascara, and I'm not sure how this is gonna be. I'm not sure yet that what is this supposed to be doing, because the description doesn't really say, but it has the sort of volume, because it's called Volume 11 mascara, so I'm assuming this is supposed to be volumizing mascara, but because the wand is quite thin, I do think that I would, for example, like this a lot. Then the palettes that I are also coming out with this release, so these are the new palettes are coming in August to Gourmande Girls and to Ladybug Glow, but are these, because Ladybug Glow is also an indie brand, so are these collaboration palettes? So these are apparently palettes that are gonna be in the Ice Cream Beauty box. It's an indie subscription box. I think if you live in US you can order it, but are these like a collaboration palette? Yeah, I think because these are saying that you can buy these palettes also separately, either from Gourmande Girl or from Ladybug Glow's website, then these must be some type of a collaboration palette between the brands. So the palettes are called Paradise Gove and then Gove and El Camino. And I do think that, for me, I think these are both a skip. The color stories are quite deep, and there are again a lot of these sort of more jewel toned leaning colors, but if you are subscribed to the Ice Cream Beauty subscription box, then I'd say that you are probably gonna get one of these in your subscription box. So maybe if you are eyeing these and you have the subscription, then wait and see which one you're getting, and then maybe buy only the other one. And then lastly, so first I'm gonna just quickly refer to first a sort of re-release of a product, and then we will discuss this new product. So Urban Decay, I'm not gonna pop a picture for this one, because if you're a makeup follower, if you're a makeup YouTube fan and you've been on makeup community for a while, so Urban Decay has re-released the Naked One palette, and apparently it has been reformulated, but the shades still look exactly the same as the original palette. I'm gonna say that I think the time has passed with that palette. I can get it that at the time it was quite revolutionary, and I get it why it was popular, but I just don't like. I think we have had so many better like neutral palettes afterward that have a more upgraded formula, and the color stories are a bit like, how should I say, also in one way upgrade, so I just don't see the point. But if you missed out from the Naked One and you still want to get it, apparently at least in States it's available. I haven't seen it available on European retailers, but in the US you can apparently get it. Then something that I think is, I was first looking that why are we doing 2016 eyeshadow packaging again, but I can kind of get the insights why Urban Decay is doing this one. So they are doing this City Space Cowboy Star palette, and as I said, the freaking packaging looks like straight out 2016, but I will ignore the packaging. So this basically has there's actually, I think, wait, there's 2 mattes, and then there seems to be 4 of these shimmery shades, and I think why Urban Decay has launched this product, even though this looks very basic, is that because their Moonstone single glitter eyeshadows, I think those have been very popular, for example, on TikTok and also with sort of younger makeup demographic. So I think if you have been on makeup YouTube, a lot of people are saying that eyeshadow palettes are basically dead, and the sort of younger makeup generation is now doing this all like one and done glimmery shadows. So I understand why Urban Decay did this, because I think this is very on trend that what's selling with them currently. I certainly don't need this one. I have shimmery neutral shades plenty in my collection. But if you have been eyeing this sort of Urban Decay Moonstone single glimmery shadows in neutral shades and you thought that you would like to get them in a palette format, then this could be an option. I have no idea when this is coming out. It says that apparently it's coming soon, and but there's not much other information about this one, but maybe they could have done something more than the sort of star packaging. As I said, that reminds me of a lot of makeup stuff we used to get time before pandemic and everything else. But yeah, that was the sort of last release I had to discuss for this video. Okay, so my camera battery is gonna run out and my voice is gonna also run out soon, so it's good that we're getting to wrap this up. What did you like about the makeup releases? I certainly think that we are getting some interesting things, and then there were some not interesting things, but things are definitely like now gonna speed up before all the way to the beginning of December, and as I said, we already had the first Christmas releases, so that is also telling something about the makeup season we are about to beginning right now. If you like this video, push the like button, subscribe to the channel and ring the bell button if you want to get notifications from my future videos. You can also find me with the same nickname, Makeup Hedgehog, on Instagram. I hope I'll be seeing you again soon in another video. Bye bye!